Happy 2024, you guys. I have just landed in Berlin. Well, I mean, not right now, but a few hours ago. I've had some food and the apartment is an absolute mess. I feel like when Christian tries to like clean, it's just never really clean, at least not to my standards of how what I would consider to be clean. You know, the difference where things are sorted, but there's dust and dirt. So I am going to do a big clean. It's also messy now because I've had lunch and also I've unpacked and there's just like a lot going on. I really want to have a clear mind. I start work tomorrow and I just want to feel absolutely fresh. So I'm going to crack on. I have 2 hours before my nail appointment, which by the way, I really need because they've completely grown out. I'm just gonna do natural nails. This is my favorite, and also it's like half the price of getting color on them, which I think is absolutely ridiculous. So anyway, let's do a deep, well, I don't know how deep it's gonna be, but like a thorough clean of as much as we can in the next 2 hours. Definitely happy to be reunited with this young boy. It's so sad, it was so cold in here when I walked in because for some reason the heating wasn't working and his little nose was dripping. Oh. So we put the heating on. I've asked the guy in my building to come and like have a look at it, see what's wrong with it, because it is -8 in Berlin at the moment, and the guy fixed it. So now we've got a warm and cozy apartment and a warm and cozy boy.
On a weary line, too scared to trust you and jump down. I'll keep my status quo up here, won't let anybody come near. I'll fix it on my own. 29 years I've been the same, trying so hard to run from shame. Can I keep up the pace? To fool myself, I don't need grace. Will you be there to catch my fall? Need to be sure you'll hear my call. Darkness surround me and I don't know why it's so hard to let go. Why it's so hard to let go. Down the line, you'll ask why I wasted my time, and I'll say I didn't know better, but the truth is I was weak and scattered, afraid of the blame. 29 years I've been the same, trying so hard to run from shame, and I will not keep up the pace. To fool myself, I don't need grace. Will you be there to catch my fall? Need to be sure you'll hear my call. Darkness surround me and I don't know why it's so hard to let go.
I am an absolutely hot mess. I managed to do quite a bit. I have to go now. I have about 8 minutes until I have to leave for my nail appointment, so I'm gonna have to stop here, but I managed to do the kitchen, living room, vacuum as well, all of that. Some of the bathroom, like Och's toilet area, and I also changed the bed sheets, as you saw. So I've done quite a bit, but I still have a few things to do, and I still need to unpack like my toiletries and stuff like this, which I'll just do after my nail appointment in the evening whilst Christian's cooking. I'm going to bring a book with me just because the train journey to there is around 20 minutes. It's a place in Frankfurter Allee. So yeah, it takes me about 20 minutes to get there and then 20 minutes to get back. So I may as well read. I'm currently reading a book called Never Lie by Freda McFadden. It's this one here. I am obsessed with every single one of her books. I just love the way she writes. I read first The Housemaid, then I read The Housemaid's Secret, which is like the sequel to The Housemaid. And now I'm reading Never Lie, and I'm going to read every single one of her books because they just get me hooked. I am very obsessed. I saved some of it so I could read some on the flight this morning. This is how much I have left. I don't know if you can see, like the short amount. But I'm excited. I'm gonna try and finish it this evening whilst I'm on the train. Let's see if I can. Anyway, I better stop talking and I better go and get this mess fixed. I feel like this entire vlog has been in my kitchen, so I do apologize about that, but it is what it is right now. It is the next day. Here are my nails. I got them naturally just done with a natural coat, like gel, but a natural look, like I told you guys yesterday. It was crazy. Right now there's a strike, and I couldn't get to the nail place for such a long time. Usually it takes me around 20 minutes, and it took me almost a whole hour, which was kind of insane. But anyway, I decided to go, and thankfully they could still take me even though I was quite late for my appointment, but they're very chill there and they're very lovely, and I just love going there. It's kind of far from where I live, but it's always so worth it, and I don't mind making the trip once a month just so that I can go to this specific place. Anyway, long story short, I'm going to make some dinner now. So I've just popped into Etiquette and I bought way too many jars because I'm going to make a chickpea curry, which I've shared with you guys before. This is my absolute favorite thing to make. This is like Christian I's go-to. You can do it all with natural ingredients, for like fresh ingredients. I mean, these are natural, I meant fresh ingredients, but I prefer to just use canned goods because it's just easier. And let's say that I have stuff left over and don't need to use both of the cans, for example, then I can easily have this stored in my pantry without it going off for a very long time. But also it's just easier. I'm gonna be real with you. So I've got tomato cans, like chopped tomatoes. I've got some coconut milk, and I've got some canned chickpeas. It says with Suppengrün, which means like soup greens. They didn't have regular ones, which I think is still gonna be absolutely fine. I don't know, I've never used this one before. Ocho, do you want to stop trying to claw the window? He wants to go on the balcony, but every time I open the door, it's minus 10 degrees outside. So then he changes his mind. And then 2 minutes later, he's into it again and like forgets that it's minus 10. Typical cat. Then I also got some ginger and I got some salt. Yeah, that's pretty much everything that you need for this meal. It's crazy simple and crazy cheap, especially if you're using canned goods. This was like €1. These were €1 each. The only thing that was a little bit more expensive was the coconut milk. Ocho, gorgeous, come. What are you trying to do? What are you trying to do, huh? What are you trying to do, huh? Do you also want to have, no? How about you don't bite your mother? The only thing that was a little bit more expensive is the coconut milk, just because they didn't have any other one apart from this one. And I mean, it was €2.50. So I mean, it was not like super expensive, but you know, compared to the others, this was like the only pricey thing. So overall it was like €11, and I can make at least 4 meals out of this. So that's a pretty good deal if you ask me. Ocho, why are you so unsettled? Turn around, please. I can just see your butthole. Ocho, Ocho, don't ignore me. Yeah, thank you. Come, where are you going? Oh, say hello. You were so vocal a second ago. Now what happened, huh? You camera shy. You camera shy, You're gorgeous though. I love you.
When we wake, hear the birds and see the sun. Side by side our fears are done. All the good times just begun.
So I've got everything cooking up right here, as you can see, both pans, and it's a little bit of a mess because this saucepan is a little bit too small. I usually don't use it. As you can see, everything has fallen out of it. This one is my main one, but since I want to have food for tomorrow as well, I'm making a double batch. I'm gonna let that simmer, and in the meantime, I'm gonna cook my rice. So to cook my rice, I have just washed it. I'm not gonna take you through the entire process right now, just because I'm in a rush to get this food done, and I have no time to set the camera up and kind of show you the whole thing. But basically, I've washed it. I'm going to now add the water, and then I'm gonna add a tiny bit of salt. This is basmati rice. I usually use jasmine, but I've ran out, so I'm gonna try and attempt to do this with basmati rice. I've never done it before, but I read online and it says you can achieve it. So let's see.
We know what we have, let's hold on tight. Found what we're looking for in life.
Honestly, getting a rice cooker has been an absolute game changer. I don't know why we didn't do it sooner, to be honest. Like, we wanted to for ages and we've always delayed it, and it's not even been like about the price, because they're not that expensive at all. I mean, you can get some for like 20 euro. I think ours was around just over 30 perhaps. So we didn't go for like a super expensive one. We didn't go for the cheapest either, like a middle ground. I don't know if that is a middle ground for a rice cooker. I feel like maybe like 60 euro is a middle ground. I know you can get some for like 300, so there are varieties, but this one works so great. The only thing is there are no like settings on it and no function. So you only have one choice, and that is cook. And then you just kind of hope for the best. So let's see if this basmati rice will work out.
With you and I, the future is bright. You and I, we got it. We don't need no more. Even in the hard times, you and I can weather any storm. Before I sleep, hear the crickets, see the moon, side by side and through. No limit to what we can do.